Welcome back to Mountain Connections. Right now, I am with Jill Stelfox. She is an inspiring leader with strategic vision. She's also the CEO of Panzura and is joining us virtually from California. Jill, thanks for being here.
Hi, good to be here.
It's great to connect with you through the screen. You've had a fascinating career to include working with the NFL with Next Gen Stats. I'd love to hear more about that.
Yeah, so in 2013, I started working with the NFL and helping them put in the first ever player tracking system. So, what you see on television today during the games, the lines, the speed, is all technology that I helped the NFL put in and was with them for 6 seasons. So, it was really fun.
It's really fascinating. Any highlights from that time with the NFL and working on Next Gen Stats?
Yeah, it's kind of interesting because I think most people know the game of football. And so obviously there's a lot of friends and family that would love to give advice about, the right way to track a player and what speed matters. But at the time, nothing like this had ever been done where every single player was tracked during the game itself. And so we had to develop all kinds of new strategies, new technology, come up with new mathematical formulas. And so while it sounds easy, it was actually pretty complicated, but it was certainly fun to do.
And in May, you took over as CEO of Panzura. How has that transition been, especially making this big change during a pandemic?
Yeah, it's interesting because I've acquired companies in the past. Um, this I've raised 50 million in venture, returned about a billion to investors, and so this wasn't my first time doing this. But acquiring a company during a pandemic is honestly the hardest thing I've ever done. The interaction with employees is just so hard to do over Zoom. And it's created a lot of challenges. Interestingly enough, we've done a lot of parking lot meetings where we meet outside and get to know each other in small groups. And that's turning out to be fun. But I think just the people part of acquiring a company in a time like the pandemic where employees are really nervous about, their future and what it all means, it's just tough. It's been fun, but tough.
I can't even imagine. You've gone from sports tech to cloud tech. How has that been?
It's actually interesting because much of what I was doing with the NFL was delivering data very quickly using cloud technology. And so moving to this kind of a solution where really what we do is we take, whatever cloud you use and we make it a high performance file system. So you're used to something like Box where or Dropbox where you can share files, and this is where you can honestly share really big files and collaborate on them together. So if you're building a game or a product, or you're an architecture firm and you're trying to build a building, you need to move those files all over the world and collaborate them on them together. The fun thing about it is, our customer group is, everything from really cool gaming companies to some of the best architecture firms in the world that are building amazing architecture. It's great.
And not only that, Panzura has been very essential to many companies in helping them continue during COVID-19. Tell me more about that.
Yeah, it was actually one of the funniest things, right? We acquired this company literally in the first part of the pandemic, and then sales go crazy because companies have to move their files out to the cloud so that employees all over the world can get to them without IT being in their network operations center, being physically together. And some of the largest financial institutions in the world were using us pre-pandemic only a little bit and then rolled out with very large implementations. The other interesting thing about our technology is if you've got an application behind the firewall that is not cloud native, but your people need to get to it and they can't get to the office, you can use the Panzura technology to put it in the cloud. and then people can get to it. And so, for example, the largest wire transfer system in the world puts billions of dollars through our technology during COVID, where there's no employees in the office, which is pretty cool.
And where do you see Panzura going in the next 12 months? What are some of your goals?
Well, one goal would be to have employee meetings in person. That would be awesome. But we're growing really rapidly. We're also putting together what we call a cloud fabric to allow other partners and partner technology to work with us so that we could be, the largest cloud file system provider on the globe. That would be awesome. We think we could do that in 12 months. We've got a big lead already, and we've got a great team on board to get it done.
And Jill, we mentioned at the top of the interview that you've had a fascinating career. When you look back on your life and what you wanted to be when you were younger, are you where you thought you would be?
I'm way past that. I've had some amazing female mentors and amazing male mentors who have pushed me along my career, and I don't think I'd get there without a village. And so I am very proud of what I've accomplished, but grateful for the friends, family, and supporters that have helped me get here.
Well, Jill, it's been an honor talking with you and connecting with you. Thank you so much for taking some time with Park City Television, telling me more about you, Panzura, and your entire career.
Thank you.
All right, if you want to learn more about Panzura, head to panzura.com. We've got more coming up here on Mountain Connections. We'll be right back.